Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another third-party unlicensed 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review video. Now today we are taking a look at 11 and Kai Studios Legend Agent J, aka Daniel Craig's James Bond in 1/6 scale. I'm a huge 007 fan. I've wanted a version of Daniel Craig's Bond in 1/6 scale forever, and it seems like this one is the one to beat. Now if you are heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon and join button for more info on Justin's Collection Plus, the channel membership. As for the box art, what box art? There's nothing here. It's an all-black, completely blank box, except for this Legend Agent J 1/6 scale collectible figure 11 and Kai Studio. Now, that's actually perfectly fine with me. I'd prefer them to pour all of their effort and attention to detail into the figure himself. Speaking of the figure himself, first in-hand impressions are, number one, he's quite heavy, and number two, even from a distance, I'm liking this head sculpt. What we are going to do now, though, is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Starting off with the display base first, I can't say I've ever seen a display base quite like this one. It's rectangular, it's translucent, there's no printing and no artwork whatsoever. Up top, we've got a clear pole with this metal rod insert that is, of course, a regular crotch grabber. I mean, this is James Bond, so of course he comes with his signature Walther PPK. Now in 1/6 scale, this thing is absolutely tiny. It's cast in unpainted black plastic, no silver dry brushing, no shading whatsoever. You can remove the silencer if you so choose, and then down below, the magazine is also fully removable with some painted bullet detail up on top. Lastly, when it comes to hands, we get the full complement and they look really good. The skin texture is nicely painted, you can make out some veins, there is some shading, and they're not waxy and glossy, they're a nice matte finish. Now, unfortunately, there is one big issue. If you have him holding the Walther, as you can see, he has very good trigger discipline, but if you want to have him with his finger on the trigger, you simply can't. The guard is too tight, his finger is too big. It's not going in there whatsoever. Now they could have adjusted the size of the Walther or maybe the finger, cause as it stands, I definitely want his finger on the trigger, but I can't seem to get that done. What we are going to do now, though, is get 11 and Kai's Legend Agent J out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. If I had to use just one word to describe this figure, it would be classy. The outfit is form-fitting, it's very well tailored, it's using super high quality fabrics, and you can tell even from a distance. Speaking of from a distance, the head sculpt. I love it. I was really on the fence. I saw the early pics, it looked good, but not perfect. I thought, oh no, it's going to be another one of those terrible Daniel Craig James Bond figures. It isn't. This looks really good. Now, the only complaint I have is the body. He's got these very narrow shoulders, he's kind of slumping and slouching forward. He looks kind of weird. I don't know what's going on with the proportions, but so far there are some things that I absolutely love here, but also some things, mainly that body, that I really don't. Up close and personal, kicking things off with the head sculpt first. I really like it. Is it 100% perfect? Unfortunately, no, not really. From certain angles, the likeness is strong. I can see Daniel Craig. The paint applications are subtle, but there is some skin texture and some shading. Overall, it's top tier. Does that mean it's the best James Bond head sculpt I've ever seen? No, I've seen some really good customs, but for now, it's enough to say that, I'm suitably happy. He does have this kind of ugly collar though. I'm going to try and switch out the shirt. I don't know why it buckles up as much as it does, and the collar is absolutely massive. But as it stands, even though the collar is kind of funky, I don't think it ruins the head sculpt. I am curious though Let me know what you think. Have you seen better Daniel Craig head sculpts? Let me know down below. When it comes to the tux, it fits him well. I do still think the body proportions are kind of funky. I'm going to switch out the body on mine. I do like the shiny lapels and the real buttons. Normally I'd be saying, oh no, I hate real buttons, you all know I do. But here it keeps everything nice and flat and smooth. If this was a press stud, it would look really ugly. He does have a pocket square just poking up out of the top of this pocket just a little. Then down below, you can see a little bit of the cuff of the shirt. That is good. And his Omega wristwatch. Now, this does hide the articulation, the wrist peg on one side, but the other is visible. My good buddy and friend of the channel, Bob Dylan, switched out the body for one with seamless forearms, and I'm honestly tempted to try that myself. I reckon it would take the realism to another level. Coming down to the pants, they're pretty simple. They're a nice lightweight fabric, they hug the legs beautifully, you've got a pleat down the front, and of course the shiny stripe making its way all the way down from the top of the pant leg to the bottom. You do also have a real metal belt buckle with pleather strap, then some dress shoes, and some black fabric socks as well. Now the pants do break at pretty much the right point in my opinion. They're not too long and they're not too short either. On the underside you have some fully sculpted tread, but the shoes aren't painted. They're all cast in unpainted black plastic. It kind of makes them look nice and fresh, which, for James Bond, yeah, that works. For a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have 11 and Kai Studios 007 and Hot Toys John Wick from Chapter 2. As you can see, John Wick is a little taller. I'm perfectly fine with that, I'm pretty sure that's accurate. His body also looks way better. It's much more realistic, the proportions are on point, he fills out that suit beautifully. Now, I like the tailoring with 11's 007, I like the head sculpt, but the body's weird. He has a neck that looks too long, but also too short at the same time. How do you even do that? The shirt buckles in at the collar, the shoulders are very narrow, his legs are very stiff but also skinny looking. Overall, it's a good figure, but I reckon a good body swap will definitely improve it. Going over articulation, do bear in mind this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. Starting off with the head sculpt, it's on a fixed neck on a ball joint, looking forward and back, swivel and pivot. The arms will go up to there, they will go forward and back, butterfly joint at the shoulder that also hinges up and down. Swivel at the bicep, double bend at the elbow that does get you past 90, and of course a regular 1/6 scale wrist peg. The torso does crunch forward and back, swivel as well as pivot. The legs go forward to there, going out to there, swivel at the upper thigh, double bend at the knee that does get you way past 90, and lastly a double ball peg down here for the ankle. Wrapping up on the 11 and Kai Studio legend Agent J, aka Daniel Craig as 007. I'm a huge James Bond fan, and I've been waiting for the longest time for what I would consider the perfect Daniel Craig James Bond figure in 1/6 scale. So, is this it? I'm pretty sure you can already tell what I'm going to say. No, unfortunately it isn't. The outfit is stunning. The tailoring is good, the material feels high quality, it comes together beautifully. The head sculpt checks a ton of boxes, it might just be my favourite 1/6 scale James Bond head sculpt. Now, the only issue that I have, and it's kind of a big one, it's the body. The proportions are weird, the shoulders are very narrow, he's got this stoop, he kind of hunches forward. I don't know what they were thinking. The collar of the shirt tucks into the neck, making it buckle and look kind of goofy. Does that mean it's unsalvageable? No, of course not. I'm going to switch out the body and hopefully it looks better. But there is enough good stuff here, and yes, you can pose him in a way that makes the body look good, that I still reckon this is a win. If you, like me, have been waiting for that James Bond figure, the one that's classy enough to make its way into the display, even with his janky body, this figure might be it for you. Now, don't forget, this was made by 11 and Kai Studio in an unlicensed, unofficial capacity. If you are heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.